remember recently I was listening to an episode from Restore the Glory, this podcast hosted by Dr. Schuchts and Jake Khym. And Dr. Bob was sharing with great vulnerability and generosity an episode from his own marriage to his wife, Margie. And basically, as the story goes, they were having, I guess, a bit of an argument. And Dr. Bob, at a certain point, he just kind of said to Margie, look, I'm fully committed to you. In response to which, instead of receiving that comment with positivity, Margie basically said, well, I don't want your damn commitment. I want your devotion. The way I like to frame it in my own mind, it's kind of like, look, I'll stay with you because it's the right thing to do, because it's my duty, because I'm committed, which is completely different than saying, look, I want to stay with you because I'm devoted to you, because I love you. Now, for myself, I gotta admit that when I was thinking about this particular example, I couldn't help but think about myself. And so obviously I'm not married, I'm a celibate priest, but I was thinking about particularly those early years, shortly after I got ordained, which were difficult years. You know, you're trying to kind of, live the identity and vocation of being a priest, and also you're just kind of dealing with new pastoral situations, and obviously it can be challenging at times, kind of working with the people of God and whatnot. And so there were moments where I was like tempted to kind of give up on the whole thing, which is just, being honest. But then obviously I kind of stuck with it, and the way I kind of framed it was, okay, I'm committed, this is my duty before the Lord. But I think secretly on some level I was annoyed and bitter and angry and resentful. Almost this vibe of like, look, Lord, I'll do this thing you want me to do, but I don't like it and I kind of hate it, and I'm kind of secretly angry and resentful towards you because you put me in this awkward and difficult situation where I could easily be doing easier things in a certain sense, right? And it took me a while to realize that wasn't good. In my mind, I thought I was being generous, but looking back, I didn't quite enter into the fullness of what the occasion actually was. And so to put it more simply, it took me a long time, an embarrassingly long time, to realize that my vocation is not something that I do for the Lord, it's something that I love. It took me a long time to realize that I love being a priest. And it took me even longer to realize that Jesus isn't simply my Lord. He's not simply God the Father. He's not simply the one that I'm called to offer commitments and obedience and fidelity to. He is the love of my life. Like, it took me a long time to realize that truly I love Jesus Christ and everything that implies. And I guess, the thing I'm really grateful for is the fact that Jesus gave me time to realize that. He gave me time to realize that I love Him, that I love the priesthood, I love my vocation. And He gave me time, basically in essence, to realize that truly my deepest desires are also what He wants from me. And thank God for that. Thank God for that, because it gave me an opportunity to get to the point where I could not simply live out my vocation with commitment, but to live it out with devotion.